be blessed by the divine. The World Community Service Center, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. The Temple of Consciousness at RDR, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. All the meditation centers and the trusts around the world, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. We shall not hurt anyone in body, mind, or soul. We shall help those who are hurt. We shall not hurt anyone in body, mind, or soul. We shall help those who are hurt. We shall not hurt anyone in body, mind, or soul. We shall help those who are hurt. May the whole world live in peace, prosperity, and harmony. World Prayer. May the leaders of every nation intuitively attain divine realizations. The boundaries of all nations guarded by a force common to every country. May all men live without rancor or fear, working for a living, all wars disappear. May the people all over the world find lasting peace which fills their mind. Rain blessing. May there be rainfall in adequate strength so that lakes, ponds, wells, and rivers are filled to the brim. May people live in prosperity through ennoblement of character. May there be rainfall in adequate strength so that lakes, ponds, wells, and rivers are filled to the brim. May people live in prosperity through ennoblement of character. May there be rainfall in adequate strength so that lakes, ponds, wells, and rivers are filled to the brim. May people live in prosperity through ennoblement of character. May peace prevail within us. May peace prevail around us. May peace prevail all over the world. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Rub your palms gently together, place them over your eyes, and then gently wipe the face with the palms. Raise the hands over your head. Take a gentle, deep breath and release it. Bring the hands down sideways. Open your eyes gently and look at your palms and bless your Guru and bless all the people who are meditating along with you. Be blessed by the divine.
Be blessed by the divine. Good evening, Sky Meditators. There is a book by name God, His Power, Unresult, which is a wonderful compilation of speeches and lectures by our Divine Guru. In one of his spiritual discourse, our Guru used to say, Jnana, wisdom or realization, is only for leading the life happily, peacefully, and purposefully. Jnana is required only for our life. We should not be sacrificing our life or all benefits of life for getting Jnana, because Jnana is with us within the consciousness. So Jnana is only for enjoying the life. To enlighten us today, we have Sky Professor Jayalakshmi. She has done her MA in English. She has also done MA in Yoga for Human Excellence, Diploma in Acupuncture. She has been associated with WCSC since 2007. She is rendering her divine service in Gudiyatham Sky Trust as a program officer. Professor is also organizing and handling all the academic sessions for Diploma, MA, and MSc students in Yoga for Human Excellence. She's propagating our Sky practices to different schools, colleges, and villages in and around Gudiyatham. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Jayalakshmi to deliver her speech on Towards Perfection. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you, sir. To all the aspirants, be blessed. I wholeheartedly thank WCSC IT department for this wonderful opportunity. To understand Vethathiri Maharishi's philosophy in attaining the perfection of consciousness, now I invite you all to travel with me into the mind of this great saint and what he explains as truly living in perfection. Swamiji says, I have drawn the system from the storehouse of countless sages who went before us. We just need to transmit his message for physical and mental well being, not only to all those living, but also the generations. Our soul is an existing principle which started its journey when the self compressing nature of the substance, which Swamiji calls space, becomes infinitesimal energy particle, and by the surrounding pressure of the substance, the dust are grouped into fundamental energy particles, which are further grouped to evolve into the physical elements, non-living and living systems. All the free fundamental particles and their groups form the grand system called universe. The consciousness of the substance manifests everywhere and in soul of living systems. Right from the day of formation of the life of the soul, which exhibited itself through first living being, up to the time of its merging with the consciousness, the soul is a continuously existing phenomenon. In man, there are two pathways in which human soul continues its existence. One is by passing on to the progeny. The other is after the soul leaves the body at death. The characterized magnetic domain of the soul gets attached with the living people who is appropriately, similarly characterized to fulfill the balance of desires. The karmic imprints accumulated by progeny and during our lifetime have been compressed into characterized magnetic wave knots in our soul, which adds its ultimate natural destination in merging into the ocean of divine universal magnetism. Once the soul leaves the body at death and up to the moment of getting attached with another soul, the living mass, there is no sensation of pain or pleasure because all the organic functions have collapsed and completely ceased to work. Here, one should never forget that the soul here cannot exhibit any of its characteristic values unless it is brought into contact and works through 8 factors Swamiji has already mentioned: physical body, life force, biomagnetism, genetic center, brain, soul, mind, and perceiving senses. The soul can attune itself to attain perfection only through organic mass. Here, our thoughts and actions should be scrutinized to create a suitable characterized way to attain salvation and perfection, the utter essence of our life on universe. Ignorance leads to conflicts, my friends. Ignorance of soul's subjective phenomena and the methodology to clear the karmic imprints leads to conflict within self and the society around it. Here, we slide away from the goal designed by the primordial state. To make life easy and conscious on a travel towards perfection, Swamiji designed fivefold modern culture. Here it follows. Each person must live by the earning made through his or her own mental and physical labor. Our method of living should not cause any suffering to the body and mind of any person. One should not kill any living being for food. One must have the utmost respect for the possessions and freedom of others and help to protect them. One must cultivate loving kindness and strive to alleviate the miseries of others to the extent possible. In later years, Swamiji curtailed it, and through one twofold path of virtue to mankind, here comes. I in my life will not cause any harm to anybody, physically or mentally. I shall strive to remove the misery of others to the extent possible. The tenets of twofold path upgrades our soul because the essence of 4 Vedas, 6 Sastras, 18 Puranas, and 64 arts are compressed in this true principle. It's nothing but the voice of divine to mankind. This intrinsic valuable phenomena can be applied only when survival inside this physical body persists. It is an immutual law of nature. The seraphic truth discloses the importance of self that is to be cared and pains inherited, healed. Self-healing is the best and easiest passage to perfection. Only a healed and healthy soul can, with the divine love and compassion, heal the pain of every soul living around them. Our Guru says, if you want to appreciate the goodness around us, first we should know to appreciate the goodness buried deep in our soul by ego, imprints, and illusions. Through sincere, dedicated, and uncompromised psychic practice and physical practices, one can very well identify the inherent ethical values. Once a disciple asked Buddha, Lord, can I know what you gain through meditation? Lord Buddha calmly said, I gain nothing, my son. The innate divine values bloomed out, and what I borrowed from my environmental distraction diminished. A seeker of truth seeks truth, and a seeker of pain seeks pain. The seeker and the seeked are not different. That which exists as space exists in me too. And my dear friends, there are two aspects of reality we experience in this world and universe today. One, unmanifest cause, the primordial substance. And number two, its manifest effect, the universe. Space must therefore be unlimited and inexhaustive. Universe must therefore be limited. If space is a ground state, universe is its excited state of limited volume. When Ramana Maharishi was asked a question, who's God? He beautifully said, see, only Mahans can say such things. What is God? Is God a limitless, eternal space of consciousness and potential energy with innumerable systems, non-living and living, floating in it all there is every particle, and hence every system is of God and by God. Hence, I, a part of the universe, am nothing but the transformation of the state. The Almighty, if space is called Brahman, I am of and by Brahman. Now let's consider the statement, Aham Brahmasmi. So we must consider every particle as the avatar of Almighty itself and me as one among them. And even the virus too. Once my soul digests this truth, heavier loads of karmic imprints engrossed in it diminishes, and the soul is now ready, eligible to attain salvation and perfection. As Swamiji puts forth, what else I need after attaining these divine blessings? What else we need? We need nothing more than this in this survival. But our survival on earth is merely materialistic and addicted to habitual sensual pleasures. Yet, we are somewhere exhausted, incomplete, and despaired, in spite of the richness in culture, in food, education, and environment. Every move in and around us seems to feed us with happiness and pleasures, but in vain, it becomes a temporary issue. And we keep searching for something better and better every day. So the better always disappears because it is not permanent. It is not the one our soul is longing for. It is not the one our soul is longing to experience. So disappointment persists until our soul is handed over to our Guru, the wholly divinized Guru, who through his intuitive meditation and revelation of God contributed his entire life for the welfare of mankind. He draws our mind towards ever-pervading, boundless potential energy, which Maharishi calls as God. At this state of practice lies the stillness, the eternal stillness. For many generations, our soul was longing to taste the feel of this divine stillness. Once this is tasted, nothing more is needed. And again, let us recall Swamiji's word here. Again, what else I need after attaining the divine blessings, the divine stillness? Few years back, I was unfortunate enough to witness my mom's last breath. When young, my mom was too healthy. She cared for all her dear and near ones, but completely ignored her mental and physical health. All through a busy schedule, the murmuring of pain in her was unheard. She totally ignored it. She totally ignored the pain. At last, this very ignorance drew her towards cancer, deadly disease. Few minutes before her death, she pleaded for the life unlived. She forgot her love on her husband, on her family, on her dear ones, and whatever her belongings was, and her properties. At that very moment, she just wants to live once more. She wants to live the life unlived. Hard days were those. Every second of our life is blessed to attune our soul to move towards salvation and perfection. But our habitual practices put us in deep slumber. Our goal failed to be recognized. This reminds me of the words of Robert Frost I heard during my school days. Miles to go before I sleep. No second is there to be wasted. Every nanosecond of our survival should be lived completely, wholly to its fullest, so as to make our soul lighter and easier by practice the unpracticed, and move from the excited state to the ground state, the ultimate merging with the divine. Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for the inspiring and enlightening speech. We are ready for the Q&A session. Please click on the raise hand button in your Zoom app. We have few important announcements before starting the Q&A session. We're happy to inform you that you can access Kayakalpa Yoga online course in the palm of your hands. Visit kayakalpayoga.edu.in to download our Android app. We invite you to download Anbuli magazine in your Android phone at anbuli.in and pay a small fee to access all premium content. If you are an Anbuli subscriber, you can access rare audios of Swamiji in Anbuli app. We invite generous donations for the World Community Service Center. You can donate through Anbuli app or on our official website at vedatri.edu.in. Your donations will help us to sustain Swamiji's divine work during these difficult times when all our sky centers are locked down. The forum is open for Q&A session now. Seshachalam.
Sir, Madam, good evening. Good evening, Madam. This is Seshachalam from Coimbatore.
Good evening, sir.
Your speech is extraordinary, Madam, about perfection in the life.
Thank you, sir.
But I am only worrying about that, how the perfection can be carried out in a daily life. There are some deviations are getting off.
Yeah.
I am praying God that I should get rid of based on your speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Mr. Seshachalam. See, it's very simple for us to actually achieve perfection by constantly remaining aware and conscious about every thought, every word, and every deed of ours. If we get into the habit of sending our actions, thoughts, words, and deeds through a simple filter of a twofold moral filter, will this action hurt me or others now or in the future, physically or mentally? Number two, will this help remove the pain of others? That's enough. If you simply question every action of yours and ensure that your actions don't cause hurt for you or others, now or in the future, physically or mentally, and also help remove the pain of others, that is living in perfection. For this to be achieved, consciousness must develop in us. Consciousness will develop only when we focus our mind on consciousness. The ultimate super consciousness is the other end of our mind. We cannot discover and get in touch with our consciousness outside of us. Therefore, a systematic psychic practice, such as our simplified Kundalini yoga practices, are required to focus our mind on inner travel and control the outer egoistic Bahubali. This Bahubali needs to be conquered. We need to allow divinity, the goodness, from blossom from within us. Introspection, meditation, both will help you to realize and develop consciousness within you. Consciousness is waiting to blossom. It is in fact blossoming in various ways, through economic progress, through art, through music, through various creative work that human beings are engaged in on a daily basis. But unfortunately, these actions result in pain and does not necessarily remove the pain for us and others. If only we allow, through a systematic psychic practice of introspection and meditation, the consciousness to develop within us, certainly we will reach perfection in no time. Be blessed.
Be blessed. Ilamadi Natarajan.
Yes, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Ma'am, your speech is very youthful and useful, man.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. After hearing all these speeches during this Corona holidays, we get purified. Almost at least by 10% our mind get purified by all hearing all these speeches. And Aruliti, who explained now, is so good in his explanation. And he said about Bahubali, conquered. Everything is very useful. And whatever we yearn from these things, our mind is searching for only materialistic values. As you said, we must deny that. We also know that we must not think of materialistic, even though it is necessary. To some extent, we may have to avoid everything. We are on the way to perfection, ma'am. Very nice speech. But I am wondering why there is, I never knew there is one apostrophe for two words. What is the meaning of that words with apostrophe, ma'am?
There is an error. It is a spelling error. It is the punctuation apostrophe is not required.
Okay. Very nice, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Chidambaram.
So respected sir and madam, What is the difference between pain and sufferings, madam? That is the question number one. And question number two, whether the perfection is in action or in the results of the actions. Thank you, madam.
Beautiful question. Please allow me to answer this question. And of course, if there is anything to add, Professor Jayalakshmi, feel free to add to this question. Let me tell you a story about the difference between pain and suffering. A man wanted to learn about pain and how to live without pain in eternal happiness. He went to a guru. The guru told him, I am not the right man to teach you. In this particular city, in a particular address, there lives a man. Please go and meet him. You will certainly find the answer for your question. He goes and meets this man. And he knocks at the door of this gentleman's house, whom the master asked him to go and meet. And that man hears some noise inside. Something is rolling on the floor and something is moving here and there. And finally, the door opens, and there in front of him stands a crippled, blind, old man all alone. So this visitor asked the elderly, old, crippled, blind gentleman, Sir, my guru has told me to come and see so-and-so person. Is this person here? And the blind man says, please come inside. Why have you to meet me here? Sir, I went to my guru to try and find out the eternal easy way of eternal happiness. And he sent me to you. And I also asked him, what is pain and why can we not live without pain? And he has come to meet you. He has asked me to come and meet you. He said, I say, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to teach you whatever your guru wants you to learn. But nevertheless, please sit down. Do you like to eat anything? I said, yeah, sure. There is some coffee or tea I would like to eat. So please wait. And this elderly gentleman, the crippled old man, attempts to get up from his seat and attempts to go into the kitchen. And only then this visitor realizes that he is living all by himself. There is nobody to help him. So he was shocked. So he goes behind this old man and says, please, 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 I don't want you to go through trouble. I thought somebody is living in your house. No, my wife left me. Your wife left you? What happened? Oh, well, I met with an accident. I lost my eyes and I became crippled. And she ran away with the neighbor, who was a more healthy human being, and he was richer than me, and I lost all my wealth. And my children have deserted me because I have become a burden for them. And therefore, they have run away. So the story goes on like this. He narrates his entire life story to this visitor, and the visitor was in tears. He said, my God, I've never met anybody who is so sad, who has lived such a sad, painful life. What a suffering this is, he said. The old man said, no, please wait. I am not in any suffering. So what do you mean you are not suffering? You have gone through so much of trouble in your life. Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of pain that I have undergone, but I am not suffering. Therein the man realizes the true meaning of the words pain and suffering. He falls at the feet of this gentleman and said, Sir, you have opened my eyes. There may be pain in this world, but suffering is a choice. Suffering is like a shirt that you wear, is a dress that you wear based on your choices of how the day turns out to be for you. We are not born to suffer. Of course, there will be pain. There is not a single person in the world without problems, but you can certainly find human beings without worries. You cannot find a man who can stop thinking, but you can certainly find a man, not one, but perhaps thousands of people who have stopped negative thinking. I hope this answer gives you a convincing reply to your question, pain and suffering. What was your second question? I forgot your second question. Jayalakshmi ma'am, do you remember his second part of the question?
No, sir.
Vijay?
So I'm trying to unmute him. One second.
Never mind. We'll go to the next person, please.
Janaki.
The second question is, the action of the perfection gives the result, or the result of the perfection gives the result? That's his question, sir.
Beautiful. Janaki, just hold on. We will answer your question also. You have not asked your question. Let me answer the second part of the question of the previous person. Perfection is a state of being. It is not a state of becoming. The state of becoming is a dynamic transformational state that is experienced through our actions. For instance, let us say that I like sweets and I have a sweet tooth. I love particularly the kind of sweets my daughter makes for me. How many sweets can I eat? 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 at a time. Beyond that, the same sweet becomes pain for me. It becomes bitter for me. It becomes difficult for me to digest and swallow and taste. So this is a transformational state that I'm experiencing, because tomorrow or even an hour later or even 10 minutes later, that pain is gone and that experience is gone. It has replaced itself with some other experience. It could be that I'm listening to music or I'm playing with my grandson. I've forgotten all about this and I'm enjoying myself, or I'm completely oblivious of the difficulty that I faced attempting to swallow too many sweets at the same time. So therefore, this so-called daily activities and actions are mere existence in the dynamic universe, in the dynamic world, which is absolutely important. It is not possible for us to live without actions. The actions, the karma, has to be performed in a yogic manner, like yoga, which is why that particular yoga is called as karma yoga. How do you define that? Again, that which does not cause hurt for us or others, and that which removes the pain for others is indeed a karma yogic way of life. And such a living is necessary for us to live in harmony with our body, with our mind, with our soul, with others, such as your life partners, with your children, with your brothers and sisters and parents, and your relatives and friends and family and society and the world community, and finally living in harmony with the universe. We cannot ignore the fact that we depend on the universe, which has evolved as various elements in nature. Could it be Panjabhutas or the different kinds of minerals and different kinds of objects that we today enjoy in our world, either because it is naturally occurring and available, or it is because the natural resources have been converted into social wealth, such as a dress, for instance, or such as the meal that has been cooked by my wife today and given to us with so much of love and compassion. These are things that we enjoy as the results of the actions of us and others, but we are not alone. We don't just live with nature, we work with the society. So therefore, our actions must be to repay the debt that we have inherited. We must keep that in awareness, and we must constantly work towards that awareness, that have I caused any pain for us or others? Have I removed the pain of others today? Take your notebook, take your pen, sit and write accounting for the day before you go to bed every night. If you do that, your actions and your ability to see divinity blossom through actions will take you towards perfection. Perfection is possible only through salvation, cleansing of genetic center of sin imprints. Salvation is possible only through superimposition, neutralization, and expiation. Removing old negative thoughts and words and deeds with positive, non-hurting thoughts, words, and deeds, each superimposition. Swamiji has taught us the 5 techniques of introspection. So therefore, introspection is an imperative element before we reach salvation. Introspection becomes a shining armor for us to achieve perfection through meditation. So meditation, introspection, and salvation leads to perfection. In the process, actions are absolutely necessary. When our actions are aligned with the perfection of the divine state is full of perfection. You cannot find a flaw, you cannot find a mistake with it. We need to understand it. For that, sublimation of our ego, illusion, sin imprints are necessary. Only then we can reach perfection, for which actions become imperative. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Janaki, you may now ask your question.
No
Janaki?
question, sir. Thank you, sir. We are very blessed to hear your words, sir. Thank you.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Thank you, ma'am, for patiently. Thank you, sir, for patiently answering our questions and sharing your insights and divine thoughts. Thank you, madam, for your precious time and divine thoughts. Let us put our minds together to thank the professor. Come to meditation position. Keep your mind at Turiya Chakra. Professor Jayalakshmi, be blessed by the divine. Her good health, be blessed by the divine. Her loving family, be blessed by the divine. Her divine service, be blessed by the divine. We are happy to bring the following online programs live from Aliyar Temple of Consciousness tomorrow. Morning 6 a.m. we have exercises in Tamil. 7 a.m. we have 9 center meditation in Tamil. 7:30 we have same meditation in English. 11 a.m. we have speech in Tamil on the topic Secret of Happiness by Professor Kalavati. Evening 6 p.m. Turyatita meditation in Tamil. 7:30 we have Turyatita meditation in English. 7:55 we have a speech in English by Professor Shanmugam on the topic Habits and Wisdom. Dear Sky meditators, we thank you for joining us today. We thank our beloved President Padma Shri Arulnidhi Mailanandan sir for guiding and mentoring us with the broad aim of achieving towards world peace on the path laid out by our Guru Shri Vedatri Maharishi. Please share the details of our program with your friends and family. Wish you all happy, blissful and peaceful life. See you tomorrow. This is Vijay from the Aliyar World Community Service Center IT team. Be blessed by the divine.